Years ago, a hero from the stars left Earth in peace. Now, the son of Ultraman must rise to protect our planet from new alien threats. Netflix's reboot of Ultraman promises big battles, supersuits, and otherworldly beasties. But what about the previous incarnations of this steely superhero? What's up, guys? I'm Kris Carr, and today I'm filling you in on the history of the kick-ass Kaiju series, Ultraman. Oh, wait, this is the part where I've got to remind you that we're poor and we're on Patreon. Money, please! With your support, we're able to keep bringing you these videos. If you want to help, head over to our Patreon page and see which tier works for you. We'll thank you with some sweet perks. And as always, the best way to help is liking, subscribing, and sharing our videos. On to Ultraman! Ultraman is an icon. The show was such a phenomenon that it birthed a genre that would lead the way for the likes of Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, VR Troopers, Power Rangers, and Pacific Rim. In the original 1966 series, when the Earth is threatened by alien invaders and a big-ass monster, the big guns are brought in, the Science Patrol, an anti-monster defense agency with the high-tech weapons to take on these threats. When the SP's weaponry proves to be ineffective, one of their members, Hayata, transforms into a giant alien mech called Ultraman to defeat the beasties threatening Earth. He does this without revealing himself to the other Science Patrol members and keeps his identity a secret. Hayata could transform into Ultraman through the use of something called a beta capsule, a flashlight-looking thingamabobber that allowed him to go back and forth from human to otherworldly. By pressing the red button on the capsule, a stream of light forms a spiral around his body, and out comes Ultraman. An iconic comedic moment that stemmed from this transformation is in episode 34, when Hayata mistakes a curry spoon for the beta capsule before switching to the original one. Classic comedy. Once transformed, Ultraman typically relied on sheer strength and would finish off his opponents using beam attacks. His skin served as a natural armor against heat, electricity, and atomic blasts. His signature move was the Spacium Ray, a destructive beam with the heat of 500,000 degrees. He also had the Ultra Slash, basically an energy frisbee that he could toss to dismember an attacker. The creative team on Ultraman thought that they could raise the stakes by giving our hero a limited amount of time to defeat his enemies. So, it was written in that he could only be on Earth in his Ultraman form for 3 minutes. The creators thought the number 3 would resonate with Japanese audiences because of its ties to daily life. A cup of instant noodles takes 3 minutes, boxing rounds are 3 minutes, yada yada yada. This little device would be referred to as Ultraman's color timer, a timer in his chest that changed colors. It was there to warn him when he was losing power and had to pick up the pace. In the final episode of the original run, Ultraman and Hayata are gravely wounded after battle, and Hayata has to separate from Ultraman. In the original Japanese ending, Hayata is left without any memories of Ultraman. If you watch the English dub, however, you're given an ending in which Hayata retains his memories and he tells his science bros that Ultraman would be returning to Earth. Damn you dubs, not sticking to the script. Looking at you, Stephen Foster. Thank you for casting me in things. Well, it looks like in this case, the English form actually became the accepted telling, and spin-offs would use that ending instead. Hayata appears in later Ultra entries, but we later learn that Hayata isn't the only human who's been fusing with Ultraman. This is a fun little nugget to keep in mind for the new series. Can we have a multitude of folks capable of becoming Ultraman? And if so, what wacky shenanigans can they get into? Let's talk about how this crazy show even got started. Ultraman was the follow-up to the popular series Ultra Q, but it wasn't a direct spin-off or anything. Producers simply wanted to present another tokusatsu series. Tokusatsu is a Japanese term for a live-action film or TV drama that utilizes a lot of special effects and can pertain to sci-fi, fantasy, or horror. When literally translated, the word itself means special effect or special filming. It's sort of an umbrella term that also covers kaiju productions like Godzilla. Shows like Ultraman blended all of these elements together. Due to the success of the series Ultra Q, the Tokyo Broadcasting System, or TBS, wanted a new monster-themed show, this time in spectacular color. The writers took the concept of Ultra Q, civilians and scientists dealing with monsters, and had a special group be the front line against supernatural phenomena as this new show. The initial concept of the show was aiming to be the Japanese equivalent of the Twilight Zone, and revolved around a core cast who found themselves in paranormal encounters with ghosts and aliens. Oh, did I mention Godzilla before? Okay, well the studio was trying to find a way to utilize the vast collection of miniatures built for the Godzilla franchise. Ultraman was the perfect vehicle to repurpose those costumes and sets. Most monsters weren't even named in the series, and the writers often didn't bother describing them in their teleplays. If a monster was named, it was decided via staff meetings where they'd figure out if they could create a creature that was capable of being filmed with the effects and remaining costumes. Super Godzilla fans might even be able to spot the reworked bits of him used on new monsters. If you're one of those super sleuths, comment down below. Let me know who among you are the Kaiju Hardy Boys! The series was originally named Bemular. Bemular's human host was the tough guy of what was being called the Scientific Investigation Agency, or SIA. Only his captain would know his secret identity. Bemular was originally conceived as an intergalactic lizard-like creature who can enlarge himself to about 170 feet. This design was a cross between Garuda, a mythological guardian bird with roots in both Hinduism and Buddhism, and Tengu, a crow goblin from Japanese folklore. The studio, however, wanted to make sure that Bemular didn't look like the other monsters and went with a more humanoid design. The studio went a step further and asked for him to have a more metallic look. Due to the new look, the show's title was retooled and changed to Redman. Bemular would go on to be an Ultraman villain. In this new version of the script, Redman would arrive on Earth as a refugee after his home planet was destroyed. Redman would fuse with SEA officer Sakumizu, and together, the two would defend Earth from similar monstrous threats. During casting, TBS suggested that the actors should look as Western as possible so as to play well in overseas markets, and that a lady character should be on the SEA team too. A lady scientist?
Whoa!
By 1966, the show was officially titled Ultraman. He and his host, Shin Hayata, were in 39 episodes for the show's year-long run. The show was an immense success, and a feature film was planned, Ultraman Operation Giant. The film was supposed to be filmed in CinemaScope, introduce new characters, give us new monsters, new weapons, but the project never came together. Just because the movie didn't happen, though, doesn't mean there was no more Ultraman. In fact, over the years, there have been a slew of adaptations across a multitude of media platforms. The character would go on to spawn an entire Ultra franchise. Though each series of the franchise is meant to be thought of as its own standalone piece, the events that take place are in continuity with one another thanks to the Ultra series multiverse. Just like DC and Marvel's multiverses, the Ultraman multiverse consists of several universes, each containing the home of one or many Ultramans from the franchise. There's a lot of these guys, and sometimes he's just referenced, and other times he's there fighting, or he's just a telepathic voiceover. So, I'm gonna give you a rapid-fire run of all the different Ultraman TV shows and movies he pops up in. Okay, 1971, The Return of Ultraman. 1972, Ultraman Ace. 1973, Ultraman Taro. 1974, Ultraman Leo. 1974, The Six Ultra Brothers vs. the Monster Army. 1984, Ultraman Zoffy, Ultra Warriors vs. the Giant Monster Army. 1996, Ultraman Zeroth. 1996, Ultraman Tiga. 2006, Ultraman Mebius and Ultraman Brothers. 2006, Ultraman Mebius. 2008, Superior Ultraman 9 Brothers. 2007, Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle. 2008, Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle Never Ending Odyssey. 2009, Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy. 2010, Ultraman Zero The Revenge of Belial. 2012, Ultraman Saga. 2013, Ultraman Ginga. 2014, Ultraman Ginga Theater Special Ultra Monsters Hero Battle Royale. 2014, Ultraman Ginga S. 2016, Ultraman X the Movie. 2016, Ultraman Orb. 2017, Ultraman Geed. 2018, Ultraman R&B. Whew! But wait, there is more. Oop. There we go. Thank you, Red Bull. Oh, it's so bad coming back out. In 1990, Bandai published an Ultraman video game for Super Famicom, and now I desperately want to get my hands on that. They also released DP Ultraman Battle Collection 64 for the N64 in 1997. At me in the comments, y'all, I want to find these and stream them. You'll be my hero. Now, possibly my favorite bit of Ultraman merch are the Ultraman noodles. That's right, your favorite Ultraman characters cook up in 3 minutes. Like they're doing battle in your cup. Brett, I demand these! You thought Captain America sitting backwards in a chair and delivering PSAs was sweet? Well, Ultraman did that and took it a step further. He had an entire charitable foundation. The Ultraman Foundation aimed to bring out the good that Ultraman represented and implemented it in real-world ways. Its mission statement was that the foundation, quote, acknowledges the children as the hope for the future and will provide everlasting support in all kinds of ways for welfare and the well-being of all children. Everlasting seems a bit odd now, though, because the foundation hasn't seemed to do anything since 2017. In its prime, the Ultraman Foundation was able to aid in disaster relief, gather donations to impoverished districts, and more, all with Ultraman leading the charge. The most bonkers Ultraman crossover? When Ultraman met NSYNC. Shit is so weird, y'all. So before singing It's Gonna Be Me, Kris Carr let the interviewer know on Japanese TV back in 2003 that he was really into Ultraman as a kid. Well, apparently these dudes were the Sean Evans of Japan, did their research, and surprised Kris with Ultraman!
I thought he was bigger.
Everyone in this clip looks so goddamn confused that some suited dude is on stage with them doing superpowers. Look at how over it Lance is! I know this isn't giving you anything else on the character, but come on! You cannot deny the cultural significance and weight of a character when you place them on stage with NSYNC at the height of their fame. course, there are Ultraman comics. Harvey Comics Entertainment published Ultraman stories in the early 90s. The latest print version began back in 2011. This manga serves as a direct sequel to the events of the 1966 series. We're still waiting on some English publications at this point through Viz Media, but it's looking like the Netflix series is using the manga as their blueprint. The new series follows high school student Shinjiro Hayata as he takes on the mantle of Ultraman, following in the footsteps of his father Shin. Shinjiro literally steps into the spotlight and fuses with some bright beacon to transform into Ultraman when a new batch of aliens arrive threatening to end the period of peace the Earth has been enjoying. So, it's looking like the same story, but for a new generation. The Degrassi of Kaiju. And can I just say, look at this gorgeous transformation sequence. Ah! It's like watching Tony Stark become Sailor Moon, but, cool as hell. Based on the trailer, we know that there are other Ultramans. Ultramans? I don't know, there's Ultramen dudes there. So I'm wondering if they'll immediately accept Shinjiro as the new Ultraman, or if they'll struggle with him taking on the moniker. What else do we know from the trailer? That we're getting some beautiful animation with battle scenes that look like they're really going to deliver. What I'm liking about this clip with Shinjiro up against Bemular is that our hero is holding his own. But damn, Bemular is not here to play. I like when we see a pretty evenly matched fight, and I am beyond stoked to see how these knockout, drag-out battles play out. And if you're a hardcore sub fan, you're gonna like what you hear. Ultraman boasts a big cast of anime heavy hitters, with actors from Eden of the East, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and more. As of recording this video, Netflix hasn't released any word on how many episodes this season will gift us with, but with April 1st just around the corner, we won't have too long to wait. Let's just hope this isn't an incredibly intricate and soul-crushing April Fool's joke that will leave us with a spatium ray right through our hearts. So, that should bring you up to speed on who, what, and how Ultraman is. Anything you want to add about the Godfather Power Rangers and the Godfather 3 of Godzilla? Other Monster of the Week shows you want to chat about? Well, let me know down below. For more videos, click to the left of my face, or check us out on Roku or Plex. Thanks again to our sponsors, and thank you for watching. See you, Space Cowboy!